Hi there, I'm Van Jasmine from Zigzag Magazine, and we're here tonight at Big E's Coffee with Fox Elipsus, international traveling musician.
Hey, how's it going? How are you?
It's a beautiful night here in Sarasota, Florida, and I was wondering how you came to be. How did you end up here in all your travels?
Well, I'm doing 300 free shows all over North America, and every night I'm in a different city, so I'm nearly at the end of the tour now. Sarasota was tonight. We had a pretty good crowd in here. It was pretty packed, so it was nice. And then tomorrow I'm off to Fort Myers. And basically, I just do this every day. I do tons of promotion on Facebook, get a ton of people to come out, play a free show. I sell CDs, and I live off the sales, and I drive to the next town, sleep in the car, do this every day.
Oh, so that social networking sort of helps fuel your tour.
Exactly. If it wasn't for Facebook, I would have like 5 people at each show, but I have like 50 because of Facebook.
Right on, catching the zeitgeist of the era.
Yeah, I guess so.
But where do you come from originally?
Oxford, England, little old college town, you know.
Coming from far off. Where have you been traveling this year? Where did you start out?
This tour started in April of 2010 in New York, and I basically went up into Canada, right across Canada, across the north of the US, then back across the Midwest, then back across the South, then back across the Deep South, and then right along the Gulf Coast, and I finish in, well, I'm doing Florida now, and I go back up and finish right back where I started in New York in about 3 weeks.
Wow, it's fast.
Yeah, 300 shows in 320 days.
So you must not stay in one place for longer than a night?
No, I never get to see anything. It's quite strange. And
how do you like that lifestyle of being on the road?
it's great because this is always what I wanted to do. Ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to do this. And so it's kind of like the fulfillment of a dream, a lifelong dream. So I love it. It can get crazy and lonely and exhausting, but somehow when you work like crazy for something that is your own thing and you love it, it never feels like you're working. Whereas if you work a regular job, sometimes it can be like demoralizing. But this feels new and fresh and perfect, like every day.
That sounds a word spoken from an artist.
Yeah.
But Fox, how would you describe your music?
It's pretty mellow, and it's got a lot of keyboard and synth implements like New Wave, a little Depeche Mode, New Order-esque, but it's also a bit like Coldplay and Keen and Muse, like modern bands like that. But it's also got like messages, like meaningful peace and political songs, like kind of like inspired by John Lennon, Bob Marley, Jimi Hendrix, Bob Dylan. So I put a lot of that in there. And then I've noticed that my crowds, if I sing about all that serious stuff, they tune out. But if I sing about silly stuff for the kids and then like love ballads for the girls, and I pretend that the girls are my ex-girlfriends and I sing for the little kids, and it really gets everyone on board and make them laugh. And once they're laughing along with you, you can start singing political stuff and they'll be like all into it. And I noticed that. So my show is a lot more comical and lighthearted, and then I slip the really important stuff in between. Whereas on the CDs, it's more of the serious stuff.
Interesting. Have you noticed any difference between the reactions you've received in the States as opposed to in England and overseas?
Yeah, I haven't played in England for 2 years, so back when I did, it wasn't great, but none of my shows back then were great. But to be honest with you, American and Canadian audiences are fantastic in the sense that they always bring a bunch of people with them. They're much more likely to stay till the end of the show, to scream, to be loud, and they buy stuff. And it's like, if I don't sell stuff, then I can't get to the next show because I've got to pay gas and food and everything, you know. So like, Americans buy CDs, even though you know half of them don't even listen to CDs anymore and they just have iPods. They still buy your CDs just because like they want to support the artist, and I don't get that in England. Might be because I'm from there, and so I'm like not a novelty there. But I haven't had the same kind of support in Europe. In fact, any money I make from the US tours, I save up a little bit, and that all goes on the Europe tour, and I just go back down to nothing because the European tour is so expensive to do. Whereas I don't sell a lot of CDs or really get a lot of tips over there. Everything in Europe is expensive.
Oh, it's good to know. But, well, and luckily you've been able to tour the States extensively, it sounds. What are your plans for the future?
Well, when this tour's over, I'm recording a new album. And as soon as that's done, I'm heading back to Europe to do like 120 shows, 60 in the UK and 60 in mainland Europe, to see if it's gotten any better since the last time I was there. And then once that's over, I'm going to come back here next year and do another big North American tour. And hopefully play slightly bigger venues and get even more people to come out.
Well, fantastic, Fox. I hope we get to see you again when you come back around.
Awesome.
It sounds like you're going to have a great career. I sense a a vibe from you that you really believe in what you're doing, and you're working hard to make it happen. And I respect that. Like I said, thank you so much.
Thanks very much.
This is Sarasota at Night, here with Fox Elipsus. Ben Jasmine, have a great night.
Sarasota at night.
Mm-hmm.